thank you for joining us. A Certain Sound, Daniel, chapter 3, one more time. Well, maybe two more times, all right? Daniel chapter 3, it says that Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego answered the king when the king said to them, "You're going to bow down to this image or else." And they said, "Hold it. We have an answer for you." Friends, we need to have an answer ready that comes from a relationship with God, having purposed in my heart that I would not defile myself with the king's meat. And I can honestly say I need to purpose that in my heart too, don't I? And it says that he was going to throw them into this furnace because they refused to bow down. Their answer was threefold. It expresses an attitude that we need to have when we are faced with whether it be a fiery trial, whether it be a sickness, whether it be a loss of a loved one, whether it be the enemy coming in like a flood. And believe me, he's coming in like a flood. And I know that feeling very, very, very well. And their answer was this: our God is able to deliver us. And we mentioned before that when you look at 1 Corinthians 13, it says, "And now abideth faith, hope, and love, these three, but the greatest of these is love." Faith was the first thing, and now abideth faith. What is that? That is God is able to deliver us. Do you believe God is able? Yes, that's faith. Let me say, without faith, it is impossible to please God. I remember my pastor telling me this story. It was around 1959, I believe. He was in Bible school, and he was going to be registering for the last semester of school, and they came out with a new rule. And the rule said you can't register for the next semester until you've paid in full the previous semester. Well, he owed $200 on his previous semester, so he couldn't register. It cost $10 to register back then. So he told his wife, "I'm going to go register for school." She said, "But you have $200 that you owe on your bill." He says, "I know, I'm going by faith." He's going to go trust God, see what he can do, you know. So his wife said she'd be praying for him. So he goes over to the school. He's on the steps, and a friend of his is standing on the steps with him outside the building. And he said, "So you've come to register for that last semester of classes?" his friend said. And my pastor said, "Yes, as soon as the Lord provides the $10. Well, about 2 minutes later, out of the door comes a friend who had just registered, and he had a $10 bill in his hand, and he opened up my pastor's hand, and he slapped it in, and he said, "Hey, go register for classes." He was stunned. He walked in and registered for class. But the registrar said, "You owe $200. He says, "Yeah, I know." She said, "You're going to have to go talk to the president." So he went down the hall toward the president's office. When he gets down the hall, a friend, was coming out of a door, and he had money in his hand. He was slapping it on his hand. It was $70. He walked up to my friend and he said, "John," he said, "the Lord spoke to me and said, you need this $70. My bills are paid. Here you go." He handed him $70. He walked into the president's office. The president said, "John, I've got some good news for you. I was just on the telephone and someone put on your bill $130. Friend, that's my God. God is able to deliver you, and if he did it for him, he can do it for you.
Thank you for watching A Certain Sound Daily Video Devotional. Be sure to sign up for the iTunes podcast or daily email of A Certain Sound when you visit us online at www.acertainsound.com. A Certain Sound is a ministry of Word of Truth Christian Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. On behalf of Word of Truth Christian Center, I'm Sonetta. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.